Okay, anyone like Avantasia here? Anyone a fan of Avantasia? I actually quite like Avantasia. My favorite one is probably the first album, and we're going way back Avantasia. Avantasia is Tobias Sammet, the singer of Edguy. That's his project originally while he was in Edguy. And I like Edguy, actually. We toured with Edguy. I got some funny Edguy story to tell you later. But I'll tell you one thing, man. I don't know if he still does, but back then, after touring with Edguy, Tobias Sammet fucking hated us. I'll tell you the story later. But let's check out Tobias Sammet's Avantasia and see what's this like. This is called The Wicked Rule the Night, featuring Ralf, Scheepers. Alright, this is a new song. This is actually just the official lyrics video. And this came out not long ago, actually. Let's check it out. Hey, that was a good solo. I wonder who played that one. Let me look at the details. Who played that guitar solo? I don't know. Sounded good. That's... that, if you close your eyes on that song and I just played it to you, you don't know what it was, you probably tell me, is that Rob Halford? Is that Rob Halford? Is that young Rob Halford? And do you guys, I mean, that's why I think, when you listen to singing like this, and of course, this is not Rob Halford, this is Ralf Scheepers from Primal Fear. Primal Fear is very, very Judas Priest inspired in sound, I believe. It's really inspired by it. I mean it in a good way. To sound, if you can sound like Rob Halford, this is not a jab. This is like, you're good. And Tobias, the Avantasia project, it's more of a singer kind of thing. That means singer's paradise. I'm a guitar player. I love bands with lots of guitars. I've never been a big fan of, bands with a lot of singing, different singers, but this kind of metal opera, I would say he's a kind of pioneer. And Tobias Sammet is the pioneer of that. He really came out of it back then, and he's still doing it, and with incredible success, because it sounds really good, and he does it better than anyone else out there, if you ask me. I think when it comes to the vocal metal opera kind of albums. Do you guys agree? Let me know. Write it down. Put it in there. Type it into the chat. And since if you're watching this on YouTube, put in the comments. Let me know what you think. And the beginning, you can say it sounds a bit like some of the Edguy stuff, some of the heavier Edguy songs. Yeah. Okay, that's Tobias Sammet. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking Bruce Dickinson a little bit. Obviously, there's some of that element in Tobias' voice, and I'm sure he's sick of hearing people say about it. To be honest, I've been listening to Edguy since I think I got into the first album was Vainglory Opera. I think that is the album. Is it? You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember that well now. But I never thought he actually sounded like Bruce Dickinson. And, I've been an Iron Maiden fan for a long time. I thought he's got a bit probably too much stick for that. Maybe for the untrained ear, it sounds like Bruce Dickinson for them. But for me, it never sounded like Bruce Dickinson to me. I hear some of that inspiration and influence from it, but I think he has his own thing going, and it's never bad to sound for people to say, oh, you're inspired by Bruce Dickinson. We're all inspired some way by Eddie Van Halen and Steve Vai or Satriani, but I don't think it sounds like it. And this is kind of cool. They're playing off the game here, where they got the singer from Primal Sphere and him. They have a very different tone. I like how it changes. You can really hear it doesn't sound like the same singer. Now sometimes you hear albums, you hear guitar solo, it sounds like the same guy playing when it's not. You don't want a metal opera album to have different singers, but they sound the same. Maybe it's easier to differentiate singers compared to guitars though. Fire. Sorry, you know what? I have to shout the word fire. I'm playing DragonForce. We always love the word fire. That was a good solo. There's some repetition parts there where he's moving around the chords in the middle, and then he brings it back to a solo approach. He mixed it up pretty well. I like it. Tone-wise, classic rock, metal, kind of a guitar tone. There's another fire coming out, don't worry. Okay, that was Tobias Sammet Avantasia. I don't know what is it. Should it be Avantasia or is it Tobias Sammet Avantasia? That was a cool, straightforward metal song with two different singers on it. Of course, you got solos beginning, solo in the middle. Nicely put together. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, let's get out the music analyzation for a moment. Oh, you want me to tell you why he hates us? Okay, I'll tell you the story. Let me just look at this. There's a link here to the YouTube channel of Avantasia, but they don't actually post the music video there. They post the music video on the Nuclear Blast website because the Nuclear Blast website is going to get you more view than the Avantasia small channel, which only got 71 subscribers here. And I'll tell you guys, man, and when it comes to this, it's kind of a tricky thing. Where should you post it? On the Nuclear Blast site, record label with 2 million subscribers. Obviously, it's a huge metal record label. Nuclear Blast, they've been around for a long time. One of the pioneers in terms of independent metal records. That will get you more views. But if you have a new band and you want to make it further, that means in terms of music business, you gotta post it on your site somehow, because you want to be able to grow your own YouTube channel and be able to take advantage of it and be in control of your own destiny in the future when you change record labels and stuff like that. So it's kind of a tough thing. Maybe as you know, you're always thinking, well, maybe it's better to put on the label side, you're going to get more views. But what's more important? You know, how are you going to grow your brand, your band, your music? It's always tricky. So this is something to think about. And you don't want to upload to both. I believe now you can do a collab on it on YouTube now, I've been told. But you don't want to post them both because you want one video to get all the views, so it will get boosted by the algorithm of YouTube, so more people will see it. So, you know, this is right now, me talking. World's always changing when it comes to YouTube and all the tech stuff. So something to think about if you have a band and you want to grow, get bigger, get more people to hear your music. But let's get to serious stuff. This is a serious stuff. Why does Tobias Sammet hate DragonForce? Why does he hate DragonForce? Should I bring you back to the story? I don't think this has ever really been told, at least not in interviews. And I'll tell you what. We toured with Ed Guy in 2006. That is for the Inhuman Rampage tour. And I tell you, man, when they asked me about the tour, I said, hell yeah. We'll tour with Ed Guy. I really like Ed Guy. Ed Guy music really good. Really love. My favorite album is The Theater of Salvation. I think that is that is such a great album. One of my favorite of theirs. And one of my favorite in terms of the genre of the music. So I thought, yeah, this is a great idea. You know, that was for the European tour. And they said, well, we also... So whatever happened with the management at that time, or record label, actually, the record label manager, they were kind of putting that deal together is we headline in the UK because we're bigger in the UK at that time. And third album, but you know, that was the beginning. We talk about the beginning of the Inhuman Rampage tour, the first part. So we were headlining in the UK, absolutely awesome show. Every single one was sold out. And then when we went into Europe, they will be the headliner because they're bigger than us in Europe at that time. You know, we were just still a new band. And the opener for that tour is actually Sabaton. So Sabaton they bought onto the Ed Guy tour. So they were the opening band, and then Ed Guy wanted to do the UK with us. So they said, oh, we also have this band Sabaton. Okay, we'll take Sabaton. Sure, come on board. Yeah, you guys can open the tour. Whatever, all good. And then when we go to Europe, Ed Guy headline, DragonForce second, you know, from the top, and then opening is Ed Guy. So here we go. Whatever was going on there, I tell you, man, I think there's some kind of like miscommunication. And I'll tell you how it works. In the UK, let's say in Europe, when you tour in Europe, most venues will give you food. There's catering in-house. You know, they serve you dinner. You go there, there's dinner served. You know, you treated pretty well in Europe. I would say, well, much better than the UK. In the UK, there's no catering at the venue. It just doesn't work that way. It's more like the United States where, you know, you go in, you get your buyout money, you buy your own food, your problem. You know, you can get a rider, but you're not going to get a hot meal from it. So, I think they kind of got annoyed thinking, well, how come there's no food and all that shit, you know? At that time, they were not experienced band to tour in the UK. So, okay, so I heard there's some kind of issues there. It's like, you know what, that really wasn't my place to deal with, you know? That was up to the tour management and the management deal with. So, you know, whatever. I heard they were kind of a bit annoyed about it. And then I heard some words, I don't know if it's true or not. They could say, oh, well, when we go to Europe, you know, you guys gonna feel the pain. I heard someone said something. I don't know who said it. Obviously, they were not happy about how the tour was going in terms of the treatment. You know, it's just the way it is in the UK. When you guys tour in the UK, or when European bands come and tour in America, there's no in-house catering most of the time. This is what it is. Anyway, that's fine. You know what? There's a link here. Fred used to play in a band called Heavenly at that time, or he was playing that band too. I can't remember. Anyway, they toured with Ed Guy before and stuff like that. So he knew the guys, some of the guys quite well in the band. Fred was our old bass player at that time. He wasn't actually even a permanent member then. He was kind of filling in. Anyway, story goes on is Sam always loved a beer, always loved a joke, and so does Fred. So they were basically changing. They were like drunk after show. They like making up Ed Guy's song, changing all the words and making, you know, shitting, farting, whatever lyrics, you know, teenagers, schoolboys jokes out of the songs. And they were singing them every day around the venue, after the show, before the show. I think juvenile lyrics. Thank you very much. Someone said it perfectly. So, and they would get drunk after the show, and because, you know, we all thought, and, you know, the story is Tobias Sammet have a really good sense of humor, and we always thought, hey, he's a funny guy. But by the way, this got nothing to do with me. I didn't get involved in any of these juvenile lyrics and singing karaoke. Yeah, like Granddad's ball bag, all that stupid stuff Sam mentioned, he still remembers. And I think Sabaton was kind of getting into that too. Yeah, so they would do that every day for the tour, laughing about it. Whatever, they would change Mandrake, that song, they would change that one. What other song did they pick? What other Ed Guy song did they pick? So, you know, somehow whatever's going on, it was not going well. And guess what? And the crew we had, they were just not very professional either. They were not very professional. I don't know, they were up to something. They're not very professional. There was like a battle between us and Ed Guy on that tour. You know, I wasn't mature enough to understand how the music business worked to be able to take over and say, okay, you guys are pricks, just stop this shit, you know? But anyway, and neither did the managers or whatever is going on, the tour managers. The tour managers that time we had, he was as juvenile as them. So yeah, that kind of went on, and that was it, you know? I mean, Tobias never said anything about it during the tour, but there was some friction between the crew. So few months later, I think probably half a year after the tour was over, we had a great time with Sabaton. We were like, us and Sabaton had a great time. We were sharing a bus together. So us and Sabaton, we just had a great blast hanging out together. And some of the Ed guys, I think the guitar player, things like that. I can't remember that well. And then 6 months or so later, we met Kiko from Megadeth. Not Megadeth, Angra at that time. He's in Megadeth now, Kiko Luero. You know, we always got on Kiko Luero. You know, he's a friend of us. You know, as you know, he's been on my Twitch. We've jammed together. He's been to my house. I've been to his place. You know, we talk, you know, about music and all kind of things. So he said, was it Kiko or maybe someone else actually from Angra told me that. I wasn't sure. Yeah, maybe Kiko, maybe someone else from Angra. And he said, wow, I don't want to put it on Kiko that he told me, but someone from Angra told us. He said, well, yeah, what happened on that tour? Tobias Sammet must really hate you because he was talking shit about you guys in Brazil in the press, and how much, you know, how much he hated you guys. Something. I don't have the exact wording or what it is. I don't remember now. It's been a long time. I thought, oh, fuck. I guess I can't say to Sam, well, I guess he didn't really like those lyrics and the jokes you pulled on him. Those pranks were not funny for him. So, and now looking back, you know, this years ago, this is like 2006. You know what? I gotta say, probably wasn't very funny, you know? I think some of the humor from Sam, Totman, from Fred, and from the guy from Sabaton didn't really translate into the German understanding of the humor or whatever it was. So it just didn't work out. But, you know, I'll say it here again. You know, I'm sorry, Tobias Sammet. We actually like your music and we actually quite like you. I'm sorry that didn't go down too well on that tour and that you kind of hated us. But maybe you can give me a reaction video on this video or why you hated us back then. But I'm sure it's under the bridge now. It's water under the bridge now. So, but that's my story. I heard. Who knows? Look, he's not gonna do a YouTube reaction to my video. But that's so going back then. That was what went on, and I heard it also from people in the German press and people in the music industry. All these things. So you know what? I would love to hear what Tobias Sammet's gotta say about this whole episode, whole tour, this whole event, this bullshit. So hey, if you want to hear Tobias Sammet's side, post on the comment on this video. Post, you know, get him to post it about it. Get into the song. I want to hear it because I want to know. But whatever happened, I apologize to Tobias for our fucking terrible and unprofessional crew and Sam's juvenile behavior. Look, we had to fire those crew at the end after we played Grass Pop in 2006 because they were terrible. So, hey, you know what? There you go. That's your Tobias Sammet Ed Guy story. And since you're seeing this video on YouTube as well, don't forget to like and subscribe this DragonForce channel. Alright, stick around for the next video.